Okay, guys, welcome. So there's going to be two tasks configured inside this lab. So the first task is going to be configuring Telnet and then configuring VLANs. So first we have to know what is a Telnet. So Telnet is a feature that can allow you know you to connect to a system remotely. So remotely mean you from different area, somewhere where you're not physically present, then you use the Telnet feature to connect. You know The feature is available on laptops. You can enable it from both ends and then you can connect, you know, to another laptop using the Telnet feature, right? So at the end of the configuration, we should be able to connect to the switch from another device that we will permit, you know. So we're going to connect to the switch from this laptop. So in physical environment is where we use our console cable. We have to connect console to the console port on the switch. We have to connect console to a serial port or USB port. In virtual environment, it's RX232 serial port, right? So we have to click that. So another thing is we have to make sure that all the computers have IP addresses assigned either by DHCP, where you use the router here, configure DHCP on the router, and the router assign IP addresses to them, or assign the IP address statically. Either of that is okay. Our configuration is on the switch, so we might not even require a router if we cool with adding the IP addresses physically, right? So what we're going to do is connect to our switch from our laptop. So we go here in physical environment, we use the ported software, and the ported is a terminal software. Right, so in virtual environment, we have to go to the terminal interface here. So just leave it as default and click on OK. So this OK will bring us here. So I'm using the same file that I sent you, the comments that are there. So first we have to rename the switch. So the switch renaming get important where you have maybe 10, 15, 20 switches in a company network, right? So there might not be one building, there might be more than one building, or a building with maybe 5, 6, 10 floors, right? So you want to apply unique name to the switch. So whenever you connect remotely to that switch, what is that? Maybe you name the switch per department or you name the switch per the location, right? So we're going to rename our switch to EIT Lab 1. uh, so I guess you're familiar with some of the commands. So enable, config terminal. So here we have to now change the switch name. So you can say host or host name, better still, followed by name of the host. So EIT understroke lab 1. That's okay. So you see there, the name change. So next is we're going to access our virtual terminal lines. So there are 16 total virtual terminal lines on the switch. That means virtually 16 connection can be done simultaneously to the switch. Right, so we're going to configure that lines. So we have to type line VTY, virtual terminal. So line VTY from 0 to 15 is what we're going to configure. Okay, line VTY, my bad. So line VTY, 0, 15. Okay that? So now password followed by the password. So we could say Telnet pass. Take that. Enter login. Right? So we use this password to log into the virtual terminal. So from our computer, when we turn it to the switch, we have to type this password here. Now what we have to do is exit. So EXIT, exit. So there's another password that we have to enable that will allow us to move, because to be able to go to the privilege mode, if we do not add that password, we will access the switch only on the user privilege mode. If we put the password for Telnet and we connect to the switch, If we type enable, it will tell us no password assigned. So we have to type a secret password that will allow us to extend, to go beyond the user configuration mode on the switch when we connect from a remote computer, right? So that password we have to type, we have to say enable secret. So enable secret, as you see, error ET. So enable secret, what is the secret? What is the secret? This will allow us to go to privilege mode when we connect from a Telnet computer. So you got to remember the password that you're configuring, right? So we have our line VTY password, Telnet pass is what you type initially. And from there, we have to type this password here. So enable secret. So what is the password? So pass me 2. So our secret password is pass me 2. Enter. Fine. So that's it for that enable password. So we have to enable line console password. So for line 0. So line console and line VTY is different. So line console number 0. Enter. Pass. Word. What is the pass? Pass is the password, right? But you want to put something complex when you're doing it for your enterprise environment, right? So password pass, login, like that. So we got to exit, right? So we finish configuring the secret, the line console, the line VTY. So now we have to type a command that would allow us to assign or to permit certain IP addresses to access the virtual terminal lines, right? So we have to say IP access. So IP access list. So what are the IP lists? What are those IPs that will be accessing the virtual terminal lines, right? So we have to say IP access list. Click, okay. So IP access list, standard telnet. So telnet access. See that? So permit. What are those computers? So we want to connect from 2 and 5. Hmm? So permit IP address. So 192.168.1.5, permit 5, and also permit 2. You can permit as much as you want, that's okay. So that command will allow the two IP assigned computers to access our virtual terminal line through Telnet. Are we getting that? So then we have to allow our asset class in. So we have to go back here and then type IP. We have to first enter the virtual terminal lines. So line PTY 0, 15. See that? We enter the line, so this option has changed. So we have to say access class. Then we have to say telnet access in from. See it? So we finish align telnet now to the two ports or two computers, right? Okay. So hope you're following. What we need to do now is assign IP address to the VLAN interface on the switch, right? So by default, there's a default VLAN called native VLAN on the switch, which is VLAN 1. Hmm? So we have to assign IP address to that VLANs that will allow us to telnet. When you type the telnet command, you have to put the target. So the target going to be the switch, and that have to be IP address, right? So we have to exit from our line interface, exit So from here now, we have to type uh, access the interface first. So int interface VLAN 1. We're in VLAN 1. So we add IP. So IP address, what is the IP address? So we're going to add this, right? So 192.168.1.1 is our management IP, followed by the fourth subnet max, which is class C. That's it. We click enter, then we click exit. That's it. So that is for the configuration, right? But another one we want to look at is, if you look at the switch, let's say the switch is located somewhere where, people, maybe students can, access. And you don't want anybody plugging their computer or any device to the switch. If the switch is giving out internet connection and the port is open, if somebody connect cable to that switch port and connect it on their computer, they can get internet access. They can use that method to enter your network and maybe do something to your system, right? So whenever you're not using ports, it's advisable to put those ports off, right? So we're going to access. So we're just using from port 1 to port 4. So we'll access from port 5 to port 24. Then we will shut them down, right? So what we have to type is interface range. So int interface range, this command, interface range. What is the range? So the range is like we want select from 5 all the way to 24. That's the range from 5 to 24. Then we'll apply one command that will affect every one of them, right? So FA, that's fast Ethernet 0 by 5 to 24. See that? That's the command. So we finish accessing those, you know, remaining ports that don't have any connection to them. So we have to type our shutdown command, to put it off. So shutdown, boom. All the ports are down. All the ports are down. We change the state to administratively down. You know, so you can go ahead, go back, enable them whenever the needs come. You can, maybe you have one computer to 5, go by enter enable 5. So that wouldn't be hard. So that is that. And then let's look at a few commands, you know, below. But let's what we have done already. So end the end command. Now you see where we are. We're all the way to interface range. So end command will take us to their privilege mode. Hmm, so we can exit from here. It's okay. Configuration is done. So let's go and test now. Right. So let's go and test. So we permitted this computer and this computer to connect to Telnet to the switch. So let's come here and then let's come here. Command prompt. Command prompt is okay. You don't need some terminal software. From command prompt you can connect. So we're going to go here and say Telnet. If you type Telnet and you now put any target, say Telnet, what is the target? So what is the Telnet target? Right. So we have to type Telnet and type the target. The target becomes a switch. The IP address that we assigned to the switch, which is the management IP, is what we have to type. So Telnet 192.168.1.1. Trying to turn it, our host is not available. Okay, let's see. What is the IP that we added? It's 5. So we actually permitted 5. Okay, better still. Let's head back to our switch. I think we didn't turn on the VLAN 1, right? So let me do that quickly. So conf t int VLAN 1 no show. Yeah, VLAN is off now. So go back to our permitted computer, which is 5. So go back to command prompt and type the command again. See that? So the Telnet the VLANs were not enabled. So you see now it's asking us for the password. What password did you remember that we typed here? So the password that we typed here was we can still go back and check in case you forget. You can go back to your configuration to the switch, go back here, and you can scroll backward or type the command. So we're going to exit from here. What command we're going to type? So exit also. Here we're going to type show running config. So what is the configuration that is on our switch while it's running? These are the configuration. So all these ports are down. If we buy these ports, we come here, right? So these are the IP address that we allow, 5 and 2. And then our line console password is, okay, Telnet pass is pass, right? Our line console 0 password is pass. So for the first part, we'll type pass. In the second part, we'll type this Telnet pass. We will type the secret password. Pass means 2. That's good. So go back here. Okay, time is out. So Telnet this one and type the password. The password is just pass. Is that sure? No, the password. Telnet pass. Yeah, Telnet pass is the password for Telnet. So you see now, we're in the switch. So let's say we want to change the name of the switch to EIT Lab 2. So EN, you see that? The password that we enable, the secret password, enable a secret password. When you type enable now to go to the privilege mode, you have to type that password. So that password was pass mean 2. Is that so? Yes. So this password now brought us to the privilege configuration mode. So let's make a change there. So let's go conf t will take us here. So let's change the host name. So host EIT underscore lab 2. Will that take effect? Yes, take effect. So let's see if we can see our configuration. So exit, exit, show running config. You see that? The same configurations are there. So this was a success with the trace the telnet. So these are our configuration. It's all there. So that's it for telnet configuration. So go ahead, watch a video and get it done. So if we come back here and try to see that there's a change, right? So that is it for telnet. So watch out for the next video that's going to